Another live session, live episode of Self-Love Exodus Live, where me and Hallie, Quinn and Hallie, we discuss anything related to this healing journey, the self-love journey. We're on our own self-love exodus, so we keep it raw, real, and we just share it all. We share it all. So the topic today is, do you have loving awareness? So we just came out of a meditation that we do now every Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 10 a.m. Every Saturday. And
everyone's invited.
Yeah, everyone's invited. Everyone's invited. And the topic today, you had us go in and looking at if we have loving awareness or inviting loving awareness in, right? And you did some work where we went in and out, or seeing if we need loving awareness outside or outward or inward. So to start off, I want to know more about where this came from and what is having loving awareness. Yeah.
Well, I think there's this question, do you have loving awareness? The answer is yes. We all have loving awareness. We all have this capacity to be a witness, to be a loving witness of ourselves and others, and to hold a loving container for ourselves and for others. The trick is remembering. And it's such a simple concept, right? It's like loving awareness. So there's something about it that I think one of the energies about having loving awareness is it's not necessarily a like active doing, I must do something right now energy, you know? It's just like it's a pretty receptive thing where you're just being with what's here and allowing for exactly what's here to be completely, divinely, perfectly great. Or at least like it is what it is. So like holding the isness of what is, you know, and doing it from the heart, the loving part from the heart. So when I was in the meditation, like one of the things, you know, we can like do a lot of, you know, first we were witnessing our thoughts and like really being with the mind and being aware of the mind and practicing awareness, mental awareness. So we're witnessing our thoughts without attaching to our thoughts, without identifying with our thoughts. So that's one step, right? That's one phase of this practice. And then there's the loving part where we like really just drop into the heart. And then that's where it's like, that's where the energy becomes really expansive when you bring the love in, right? So then you're holding yourself and you're holding others and you're holding circumstances and you're holding the world with the energy of love. And love means different things for all of us, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that would be a good question. Like, what is love for you? Like, what does having loving, what is the loving awareness? What's the love piece for you?
Compassion lives in that for me, because what came up for me when we were doing the meditation is I saw myself take out my heart and like holding it.
Like a baby.
I know that I feel loved when there is, how would I say it? Yeah, this is like compassion. There's nurturing going on. There's understanding going on. You know, like for myself to be in a loving environment means like I just feel like I'm accepted. You know, I'm understood and I'm accepted. I'm seen. I'm just held with so much understanding and compassion and acceptance. Like I'm enough in that, right? So when we talk about self-love, I need to practice these things to really like create that for myself. I need to show up in something for myself. Like, how can you feel compassionate towards yourself? Well, there's things like meditation, like we just did. Powerful. There's ways to express myself, to invite those words in, like the experience that I need, that where I'm seen and heard and felt and seen and held all of that to myself as I journal or as I allow myself to record myself. Just Quinn, like, let's get through this. Let's talk through this. Like, I acknowledge what you're saying. Yes, everything you're saying is valid. Everything you say matters. So you see there's like work with that, with this loving awareness to amplify that feeling, because it was powerful doing it. We did 2 rounds today because some people came late. But yeah, it was powerful to see. And also what came up was like, I needed the love to come in for sure, because my energy was very frantic and it was almost kind of maybe very like attacking a little bit and like very confronting. So I saw how I can come from love and still say what needs to be said.
Yes.
So
It's great. Yeah, and I love the acceptance. Like that's such a powerful thing, right? To accept ourselves as we are, to accept the circumstances as they are, to accept others as they are. Nothing feels more like, I don't know, like nothing feels more loving to me than when I feel fully accepted just as I am. In whatever state that I'm in, and not just when I'm like on point, not just when I'm like sparkly and fun and in a good mood and like saying cool shit, like really like when I'm fucking sad and when I'm having a hard day and when I'm confronting like doubt, self-doubt and self-criticism, all of that's being accepted in that. But it's like, can we do that for ourselves? Like, can we be in those hard places and still accept ourselves right where we are? That's like advanced level self-love.
Yes. That's where like you'll feel it the most, and that's where you'll grow the most, because you're going through something very uncomfortable. And to turn that uncomfortable experience into a true loving experience, you just broke through something there.
Yeah.
You're creating a new habit. You're creating a new experience for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's going to help you bring about that new belief that you have about yourself, which we've talked about before. We've done workshops on this. Yeah.
And if you can do it for yourself, you can do it for others.
Yeah. Imagine being more clear with yourself and just imagine the ways that you're able to show up. I know that the ways that I love others and how I'm able to be present for others has completely been transformed.
Yeah.
You know, like you're thinking less of more of yourself and really being able to really hear, like I've had experiences where it's like, I've asked, like you hear the information, but like you're actually interested. So like you'll say something, I experience that vice versa, and that's how you really have someone feel seen, because you're actually interested in what they have to say. You're actually hearing them, you're feeling with them, and you're like, okay, well, wow, like, how does that make you feel? Or like, where do you think that comes from? Or like, oh, wow. So because of this, so you're totally there with them.
That's one of the words that was coming up for me when I think about loving awareness. Like the loving piece is like genuine listening, like really like loving is listening, and there's something about to really listen to another person. You really have to kind of put yourself on pause, right? You have to put yourself on pause, because so often when we're with others, we're like also with our self-consciousness, right? You can be like having a conversation with someone and at the same time being like, oh my God, how do I look in this moment? Oh my God, what am I going to say next? Oh my God, right? And all of those distracting thoughts is creating a barrier between your connection, between having true presence.
Yeah.
So there's something about like putting the self on the shelf. This is one of the things that came through in our meditations one time for one of our people that I love, putting yourself on the shelf so that you can have full loving awareness and presence and listening with the other person. And that is true intimacy.
Yeah. And if you're having a hard time putting yourself on the shelf, that means you got some things to attend to, like, yeah. Like if I'm sitting having a conversation with Hallie, but she's talking and I'm like trying to put myself on the shelf, but things keep on coming in, huge signs. Okay, I don't have the space right now.
I don't have the space right now, which is so valid.
Which is okay. You're human. Good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we can use our words to communicate that, right? It's like, wow, I'm really noticing that I don't have the space right now.
And that's being loving.
Yes.
I'm letting you know because I love you and I care about having presence for you. And right now I don't have the space and I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
It's so real. And so helpful, versus like how many of us have been trying to connect with someone who's not with us. Oof. Like that just hurts. It just really hurts.
Yeah.
So it's so helpful when someone's just like, look, this is what I'm noticing within myself. That's having loving awareness, right? You're noticing that you are not able to be present. And then sharing that and communicating that gives the other person an in to your inner experience. And then they can relax and be like, oh, no problem.
Yeah. And they'll actually
Go take care of yourself.
Yeah, they'll honor that.
Yeah.
Right? And if they don't, then you already know this is not a really good connection here,
Right.
Maybe not the best. I remember I shared that with my mom. I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm noticing that I'm starting to feel like anxiety and I'm getting like, I feel like I'm less patient. So can I go on my jog and we'll talk about this later because I really need to go on a jog right now. And my mom immediately, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she even kept out a little bad. She just wanted to check in on me. So like before I went on a jog, she went and she's like, it's okay, honey. Or like, daughter, okay, we'll talk later. I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine. I just need to go on my jog, like, so it creates more love when you can be honest like that.
Yes.
Like, I love you enough to tell you. I love you enough to make sure that I know that I need to have space for this. Like, I want to have space for this.
Yes.
So I'm going to work on it.
For this. I'm going to have space for you. And I love myself enough to accept myself in my non-spaciousness.
Right. You see, there's just so many levels.
There's so many layers, right? Like, you have to be okay with the fact that you don't have space first so that you can then express that in a loving way. And then go tend to your, it's all, as within, so without.
And as you're on your healing journey and as you practice your self-love, your healing, your tools, your outlets over and over and over again, you'll start to develop this, I'll call it emotional intelligence, that emotional intelligence to even be proactive, knowing that you're about to connect with someone. Do you have space? So you don't have to, so there's there's levels of more awareness. And you can move accordingly. You can actually create the space before you connect with somebody.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's okay. Versus, finding out, oh, wait, I'm here now, but I'm realizing that I can't connect with you. I want to, but I'm realizing, oh, wow, I don't have the space.
This is why I always honor when someone needs to cancel. It's because they're doing me a favor. They're like, look, I don't if they're like, and luckily I have a community of friends that do keep it really real.
Yeah,
so it's
awesome.
just I really am not in the place that it's like, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for honoring yourself and honoring me in that way.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing. If I don't have the space, I give myself the liberty to cancel or reschedule. Yeah.
Right. I was going to say something to that. What was that? Shit, I forgot. The loving awareness to communicate and letting people know. I lost it. It was a cloud. It was a cloud of thought. Mm-hmm. Hi. And then it continues to float away,
They flow.
Yeah. Yeah. So we all have that. We all can tap into that. Like, we all have loving awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And to really feel into that takes practice, everybody. Grab a tool, grab a self-love tool, grab a outlet tool to continue to expand that awareness, right? You can see that you can be more proactive. You can be more loving. You can really have that, loving awareness for yourself, because we wake up to ourselves and we go to bed with ourselves, we know how we feel before we go to bed. Right. And there's always a lesson. I really like some visuals that came up in the meditation about the sunflower and the clouds. Mm-hmm. Right. Like, the clouds, we usually try to push them away, but having loving awareness is seeing that, right? You're aware that the clouds are there and you see that it needs love.
Yeah.
Because that dark cloud is pain.
Mm-hmm.
That is
needing to be felt.
Yeah. Because it's going to still hang around.
Yeah.
Even if you try to push it away for a while, it'll come back.
Yeah. And usually it'll come back thicker and darker and thicker and darker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when we feel it, we really release it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There were some great shares today. One of our other sweetheart people that comes to our classes and meditations, she's in a new relationship, and she was talking about how she was finding herself really wanting love from this person. She's been doing such beautiful self-love work, right? And then we enter into partnership, and then it's like, I need your love. Why aren't you loving me in the way that I want to be loved, right? And she just keeps catching herself girl, give it to yourself. And give it to yourself. And that is such a beautiful practice of loving awareness. you know, and it's such an important one for any of us that are in relationship in any capacity with anyone, is just, we have to continuously remember that we have the capacity to give ourselves love, you know, or else we really are going to be like leaning forward, looking for it, feeling desperate, feeling panicky, feeling like we are not okay, you know?
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, I love that example.
Yeah.
Because then we get to take care of what's really going on and not have that like build up, not have that being projected onto other people. And then now there was a cloud, but now there's thunderstorms.
Now there's drama,
hurricanes,
and hurt feelings, and like having to have all these talks, you know, just being in a relationship and all the talks that you gotta have. And it's really this piece. It's like, I need you to love me better. But it's like, wait, am I though? Am I giving it to myself?
You're demanding all these things.
Demanding it all from the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Whew. So we're with you. We are with you because we've experienced this ourselves and we're committed to this journey. So if you need some support, we do meditations every Saturday at 10. And if you want to come on and join us here, we're here at 11.
And let us know if you're interested in meditation. We have a Facebook group where you will be reminded. So just DM us and we'll add you to the group.
Yes. And then we take it to another level with actually hosting a workshop where we do the deep work for 2 hours with each other. It's a group, intimate group. So that's once a month. Visit our website. All righty. Okay. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.